So my name's John. I'm a mathematician. I don't know if you know what a mathematician is, but pardon me? What do you think a mathematician does? I did have an idea in starting JUMP that we weren't really nurturing kids' full potential in mathematics, both because I had struggled and then found it much easier later in life, and also because I'd seen in my private tutoring some amazing changes in kids. One of my first students was struggling in grade 6. They weren't sure he could do math, and he just finished his doctorate in mathematics, so he's now a professor. So I saw amazing changes in kids, and I really began to suspect that there was a great deal of potential and that math was an easier subject than people think. As one great mathematician said, it's really a matter of getting used to things in math. It's not that hard, but it's like a ladder. If you miss a step, you can't go on. If you lose your confidence and stop focusing, you can't go on, more than any other subject. And so I think that's why it has the reputation of being such a difficult subject. JUMP is very similar to other programs in that it does expect kids to discover things themselves. But it's different, I think, in the scale to which we break questions down into smaller questions and challenges down into smaller questions to make sure kids have a chance of discovering things, to make sure they have enough practice and review, to make sure they get enough feedback and assessment from the teacher. We started seeing incredible improvements in kids when they got one-on-one tutoring. Many kids went from remedial to academic stream. But I was really surprised when teachers asked us to come into the classroom. We found that those kids flourished even more when they could put up their hand or show off in front of their peers and feel successful. They started learning more quickly, retaining things, taking risks, and we saw the whole class could move along more quickly. So that's why we started developing the in-class program. And then it took years of testing. Teachers first requested some materials, so we started producing workbooks, which we rewrote many times, and then we realized that teachers needed more help designing bonus questions, activities, games, breaking the lesson down into small enough steps or challenges. So we developed very extensive teachers' guides to help them do that. You know, I've seen in classrooms where you minimize differences between students, and that doesn't mean holding the faster kids back, because we've got data that shows the whole class goes further. But if you minimize differences, then all the kids start thinking, engaging, taking risks, and their minds start working so much more efficiently. And they start to develop a love of the subject. And the interesting thing is they don't compete so much anymore against each other. They start competing against the problem collectively. JUMP has accumulated an enormous amount of data suggesting the program works, ranging from scores and scores of anecdotal reports that teachers have sent us to much larger scale data. Sick Children's Hospital in Oise just ran a randomized controlled study in about 35 classrooms, and which produced very good results for JUMP. The JUMP group did significantly better than the control group, with JUMP students progressing at twice the academic rate of the control group. We've seen it in London, England, within a couple of years. Kids who were 60% of a population that were almost all 2 years behind caught up and passed the national exams. We have a teacher who was able to shift a bell curve about 70 points of kids coming into grade 5 where there was a 70-point difference on average at the 54th percentile. Within a year, the kids were in the 98th percentile with a 4-point range. You know, I once broke up a fight in a school by telling the bully that if he didn't apologize, I wouldn't give him his bonus question. And he apologized to get a bonus question in math. That shows the extent to which you can change behavior and attitudes in students and help them become much more deeply engaged in learning through mathematics if you teach it well. Many teachers will admit that they are a bit math phobic, or math wasn't their strongest subject, and so that's why they respond so well to JUMP. We've had many teachers tell us that it's the first time they enjoyed teaching math, or the first time they actually felt they understood the math deeply. They're very grateful to be able to work their way through the curriculum and understand it properly. You have a lesson in 10 minutes, so even though the guide itself is big, we made it exhaustive because if we wanted to make sure we covered every aspect of the curriculum fully. But it's actually a time saver if you use it. Because we're a charity, everything on the website is free. The guides, the extra work, the curriculum correlations, so it's all free. we would think kids are stunted if they didn't see any beauty in a mountain or a star, but we think it's natural for them to graduate from school without any sense of the invisible beauty of the world, the incredible connections, the elegant design of the universe. These are really, this is sort of a birthright of kids to understand and appreciate the world on that level.